As Crono stumbled out of the shimmering portal, the lingering effects of the teleportation still buzzing in his bones, he barely had time to gather his bearings. He found himself on the side of a rugged mountain, a cool breeze ruffling his hair. The area was scattered with patches of trees and crisscrossed by small, babbling rivers. In the distance, he could make out the faint outline of a small city, its stone buildings glinting in the sunlight. But before he could take another step, a sense of unease gripped him. Almost instantly, a group of small blue creatures leapt out from behind the nearby trees and bushes surrounding him. These were blue imps, mischievous creatures, known for ambushing travelers. They sneered at Crono, their crude weapons raised, eyes filled with a menacing glint. He knew he had no choice but to fight his way out. Crono stood triumphant, his breath coming in steady bursts, his body unscathed. A sense of relief washed over him. He was glad he had left his home prepared for trouble. With the path now clear, Crono slid his sword back into its sheath and set off down the mountain toward the city in the distance. He was determined to find Marle, and nothing would stand in his way. As Crono approached the city, a strange sensation settled over him, a creeping sense of familiarity mixed with disorientation. He slowed his pace, his eyes scanning the stone buildings that loomed ahead. The layout of the town looked eerily similar to the one he had just left moments ago. The same winding streets, the same arrangement of houses and shops. It was almost a mirror image, yet something was off. As he stepped into the town, the sensation only grew stronger. The people walking around wore clothing that seemed oddly out of place, vintage, almost medieval versions of the styles he was used to seeing. It was as if he had stepped back in time. The town didn't have the lively, carefree atmosphere of a peaceful village. Garrisons were set up at strategic points. The tension in the air was palpable, like the town was bracing itself for a battle. As Crono wandered through the streets, he noticed a crowded bar nestled between two larger stone buildings. It seemed like the perfect place to gather information, so he decided to head inside. Pushing open the creaky wooden door, he stepped into a dimly lit room filled with the low hum of conversation. The atmosphere was tense. Injured soldiers nursed drinks at the bar, and weary civilians sat hunched over tables, speaking in hushed tones. Crono made his way to the bar, glancing around at the grim faces and the occasional side-eye he received from the patrons. He approached the bartender, who was busy cleaning a glass. But when Crono tried to ask a question, the man ignored him, moving away to serve someone else. Just as Crono was about to turn away, the door swung open behind him, and the entire room seemed to fall silent. A man entered wearing a white coat with orange details, a distinct badge pinned to his chest. He moved with a quiet confidence, and the room buzzed with whispers at his arrival. The man took a seat beside Crono, ordering a drink without looking at the bartender. As the drink was poured, he turned to Crono, his expression calm yet serious.
You look like you're searching for someone, maybe a queen, perhaps.
Crono's ears perked up, but he remained silent, watching the man closely.
I'm Toma, the hero searching for Queen Lean. If you're looking for her too, you're out of luck. Seems I'm the one who's gonna bring her back.
Before Crono could react, a gruff voice from across the room shouted,
"Ha! Toma, you're too late! The queen has already been found!"
Damn! If only I'd gotten here sooner. But I suppose if there's anything to be had, it'll be at the castle. With Magus's troops on the move, they'll be looking for anyone who can fight back. The people at the castle, they always reward a hero, even a delayed one.
Crono's mind began to race. The castle, that must be where he needed to go. Without another word, Crono turned and left the bar, heading towards the path that would lead him to the castle, realizing it was quite a journey away. If this world was anything like his own, he had a good idea of where the castle might be located. To reach it, he knew he would have to cross a small forest that lay between the town and the castle grounds. The forest was known for providing the castle with food and medicinal herbs, a haven for hunters and gatherers. But it was also said to be a dangerous place, frequented by aggressive creatures. Yet, as Crono entered, he couldn't help but feel a strange calm settle over him. The trees seemed to sway with a rhythm of their own, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. The forest seemed to wrap around him, almost as if it were protecting a secret of the forest, a mystery that lay hidden within its depths. Lost in his thoughts, Crono quickly snapped back to reality when he heard a rustling sound nearby. Crono tightened his grip. After his victory, the forest had fallen silent again, but only for an instant. Suddenly, he could hear distant groans and rustling coming from deeper within the woods. More enemies were closing in on his location. Crono realized that he couldn't stand and fight every battle that came his way. There were too many of them, and he was on his own. With a surge of adrenaline, Crono broke into a sprint, weaving between the trees and ducking under low branches. The castle grew closer, along with his hope of finding Marle. Crono reached the castle gates with a sense of urgency, pushing past the guards without a second thought. As he crossed the threshold, two guards immediately moved to block his path. Their spears crossed to form a barrier.
Stop right there! You can't just barge into the castle like that!
The other guard sneered, looking Crono up and down.
Looks like we've got ourselves a lost little lamb. What's your hurry, kid? Got a date with the queen?
Before Crono could respond, a voice called out from above, echoing through the grand hall.
Let him through.
The voice commanded, calm yet authoritative.
I want to meet him in my chambers.
The guards exchanged a quick, surprised glance and then stepped aside, their mocking expressions replaced with a hint of respect.
You're in luck, boy. Better make sure you show some respect.
As he turned a corner, he suddenly came face to face with a man dressed in elaborate robes, the Chancellor. The man's eyes narrowed suspiciously as he sized up Crono, clearly uncomfortable with his presence.
What business do you have here? This is no place for commoners to be wandering about.
The Chancellor glared at him as he passed, clearly not pleased, but saying nothing further. Crono hesitated, sensing the man's hostility, but he pressed on, eager to find Marle. Finally, Crono reached the Queen's chambers. He paused for a moment outside the large wooden doors before pushing them open and stepping inside. He saw the Queen, but as she turned around, a familiar smile spread across her face. It was Marle, yet she looked every bit like a queen.
Crono, I know, it's crazy. Somehow everyone here thinks I'm the queen. I guess I look a lot like her.
Crono's confusion deepened, his eyes darting around the room as he tried to make sense of her words. Marle seemed to notice his concern.
But we can't stay. It was fun for a while, but we need to get back.
Not again, Crono thought, panic rising in his chest. He stood frozen for a moment, staring at the empty space where Marle had been just seconds before. His mind raced. How could she disappear like that, right in front of his eyes? And now she was missing inside the castle, and he was the only one who had been with her. As a stranger in this place, that would surely lead to trouble. He couldn't afford to be caught up in questions or accusations. He needed to find her, and quickly.